Alright, how's it going? So, the last fight in my 4 great fights that I brought up, obviously a couple more fights have come up. Liam Paro against Sabriel Matisse. And there was another fight that came up. Tim Tszyu and Virgil Ortiz. Is rumored, at least. But yeah, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk. This is my my next great fight that I'll cover right now. Yeah, obviously it's a great fight because it's for Undisputed. Okay, like you can't ignore that there hasn't been an undisputed heavyweight champion for something like 20 years. And these two guys, they're undefeated. They've had some great wins. I mean, I would argue that Tyson Fury has a couple of the best wins in boxing, period. And that's his wins over Vladimir Klitschko and Wilder, especially the first win over Wilder. Because really no one else has done that. No one else has gone to a champion's home turf. Even though Klitschko is from Ukraine, the fight was in Germany. That was very much a home fight for Klitschko. You know, he wanted it in Germany. He had fought in Germany before. I believe he even lived in Germany. So that was very much a Klitschko home ground advantage sort of fight. And Tyson Fury went there and dethroned him. You know, that was massive. And then going to America and beating Deontay Wilder in the second fight. Again, like, who's done that? Who's gone to a champion's backyard, undefeated champion, and beat him? Usyk has done that with Joshua. Obviously, he went to the UK and got the win over Joshua. So, the other heavyweight that's done that is Usyk. You know, so both these guys have great wins. But yeah, Tyson Fury. A lot of people dismiss Tyson Fury's record. That's what I'm really getting at here. A lot of people, you know, they go, "Oh, Wilder was overrated. You know, he can't box. He was always shit." And Joseph Parker showed that. You know, Average Joe showed that Deontay Wilder was average. I disagree with that. I think Wilder is just at a point in his career where he's inactive and he's aged. And Parker was able to take advantage of that. Wilder didn't turn up that night. But a Deontay Wilder that turns up, he knocks Parker clean out, right? 7 days a week. Twice on Sundays. But yeah, that's no easy win. You know, nobody else went to America and beat Deontay Wilder. Hard punching, undefeated, champion. Those two wins for Fury are better than 99% of what other boxers have done, period. You know, I mean, obviously there's other guys that have had great wins. Crawford, Canelo, Inoue. Well, the only great win on Inoue's record, I would say, is Stephen Fulton. But then again, that's at home. You know, that's in Japan. Inoue got that win. You know, we're talking about Tyson Fury going on the road to the champion's backyard and beating him convincingly. You know, so great performances Tyson Fury has put in. I will say that his resume isn't that deep. He doesn't have a deep resume, but the real wins on his resume are top class. And that's same with Usyk. You know, Usyk, I think he beat I forget when he fought in the final of the cruiserweight Super 8. He fought that final in Russia against a Russian fighter, Gassiev. So that's a great win, you know, beating Gassiev in Russia. He beat Michael Hunter at cruiserweight. I think that was in America. I'm not sure, but yeah, he got the win over Michael Hunter. He got the win in the UK over Anthony Joshua. Got the win in the rematch as well. Stopped Dubois. A little bit of controversy about that, but there's no question in my mind. Dubois had to quit in that fight. So both these guys have great wins on their resume. I guess you could say that the more informed fighter would be Usyk, considering Tyson Fury is coming off, I guess, what can only be described as a piss poor performance against Ngannou. You know, a joke of a fight to begin with, a circus fight, but then he put on a terrible display. I mean, that was shocking. I didn't even watch that fight, by the way. I saw some highlights, but I didn't tune into that because that's a clown show, you know. So yeah, Fury being so inactive, and his only fight in, I think, the last year and a half or close to 2 years maybe, has been in Ngannou. I mean, that's shocking preparation for a big fight like this. But then so too Usyk, he's not been overly active. You know, I think he's fought just a couple times in the last couple years against Joshua and Dubois. So, you know, neither guy has been really very active, and that's probably down to negotiations and negotiation breakdowns, and then Fury getting a cut and postponing the fight. Just a load of bullshit. But yeah, anyway, the fight. Listen, I think if Tyson Fury is on form, I think if he's at his best, he wins this fight, and he wins it quite convincingly. You know, Tyson Fury, unlike Joshua, knows how to use his reach, knows how to use questionable tactics, you could say, you know, holding, you know, putting his weight on his opponent, stuff like that. You know, the tricks, the tricks of the trade. Tyson Fury knows how to employ those tactics. So no doubt he'll be leaning on Usyk, holding Usyk, you know, getting Usyk in a hold, and you know, just putting him off his game basically, and getting away with whatever he can get away with, you know, until the ref stops him doing so and takes a point away from him. He's going to keep holding Usyk and leaning on him and all this. So yeah, I think Usyk's going to have a tough time with that. Then Fury as well has his jab, and the speed on his jab is underestimated. So I believe he's going to be catching Usyk with a jab as well. You know, a quick jab, and from a 6'9" guy like Tyson Fury, you know, those jabs aren't soft. So Usyk's gonna, you know, he's gonna have a problem dealing with Tyson Fury's jab, his distance control, And then even when Usyk gets in close, Fury's going to grab him, you know. So I think Usyk's going to have a hard time. What I will say is that in the past, Fury has struggled with smaller fighters that have more quickness, agility, such as Steve Cunningham obviously dropped Fury in their fight. Cunningham, who had come up from cruiserweight, you know, smaller, quicker guy. And then a bit earlier in his career, Fury fought a guy called John McDermott, who was a come forward fighter, basically, just, you know, volume puncher, come forward. Fury struggled with him. Some say he lost their first fight. And then, of course, Otto Wallin, that came forward against Fury and put the pressure on, and, you know, was a southpaw as well, like Usyk. And Fury struggled with that pressure that Wallin brought. I would say that Fury was underprepared for that Wallin fight. You know, he was very relaxed going into that. I think he was already like looking ahead to the second Wilder fight. But even so, he struggles with, or he has struggled in the past with smaller guys that have agility, quickness, speed, and bring pressure. So Usyk's gonna do all those things and better than anybody that Fury has ever faced. So that's the interesting part of this. Will Tyson Fury be able to deal with that? Will he be able to deal with the movement of Usyk and the speed? And then Usyk has a much superior skill to, I would say, anybody that Fury's fought. You know, Usyk is a very skilled heavyweight, probably the most skilled out there. So, yeah, nothing really would have prepared Fury for this fight. Yeah, so the way I see the fight going is I think both guys are going to want the center of the ring. I don't think Fury's going to box on the back foot, because he hasn't done that for a while. You could say he did that against Ngannou, but I'm talking about at the top level. He hasn't really been the back foot type fighter he was, say, in the first Wilder fight. You know, since then he's been more come forward and establishes his jab and power. So I think Fury's gonna try to make Usyk feel like the smaller man, like the middleweight as he calls him. I think he's gonna come to the center of the ring, but I think Usyk is gonna want to push Fury back. You know, like I say, I think Usyk's very smart. He knows that Fury has struggled with guys that bring pressure, smaller guys, quicker guys. So he's gonna want to apply the pressure to Fury, because if he doesn't, Fury, you know, he's going to have a very easy time of it. So I don't think Usyk has much of a choice here, but to come forward at least, you know, whenever he can. So, you know, who's going to win that battle? Who's going to get in there and establish themselves as the dominant one in this fight? I think it'll be back and forth. You know, I think at times Usyk will be coming forward and Fury will back off, and I think at other times Usyk definitely going to back off. You know, if Fury's coming forward with a strong jab and looking to put some damage on him, Usyk's definitely going to circle and back up and look to counter. So all in all, you know, I just see Usyk being up against it, basically. You know, Usyk's a very, very good fighter, great fighter. But he's got it all to do here. You know, it's if Fury keeps the fight at a distance, it's impossible for Usyk to win. So Usyk's gonna really need to be on his game and work hard to win rounds, to take rounds off Fury. I wouldn't say he could wear Fury down because Fury's got a gas tank on him. Both these guys do, they're not guys that wear down during fights. If Usyk hurts Fury and drops him, he could definitely take him out. But I just, overall, to cut this video here, because it's getting a bit long now, 15 minutes, I think Fury's just going to have a bit too much, like I say, bigger guy, he's got a jab, he'll make it dirty on the inside, and I don't think Usyk's going to be good enough, quite good enough, to basically get Fury out of there, or touch him up, because Fury's not so easy to hit either. So I mean, if Fury decides to be on the back foot and keep the distance, Usyk's going to be really struggling to get inside and land anything. Of course, Usyk being that good, being a master boxer, of course he's going to have his moments. But I think Fury wins this clearly. Usyk isn't, he's not known for being made of granite either. Like, he can be hurt. So, Fury is going to be targeting the body. So I can even see Fury getting Usyk out of there, but I'm just going to stick to, a conservative prediction here and say Fury wins a decision, in a fight where basically he shuts down Usyk and Usyk's unable to do what he normally does. Might not be the most entertaining fight, but it's the way Fury's going to win it. So I'm going to say Fury, wins quite a clear decision, 8-4, 9-3 sort of fight. And that's it really. Let me know what you think.